Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Okay, good morning. So, we will talk about verbal analogy and vocabulary building today. Now, methodology that I am going to adapt for this particular section, especially for the next few classes and also today's class, is that you will be shown this slide and you will be given a keyword and then 5 choices. You will be given 5 choices and you have to start looking up dictionaries on your own. So, looking up the word meaning and looking up your dictionaries on your own and choose the exact meaning. At the same time, you also look at the possible meanings of all the words that are given as choices. So, that will help you in developing your vocabulary for any subsequent kind of a test that you may end up taking or end up appearing for. So, this would be a good way to practice your vocabulary. Now, let us first look at this slide, and the first word that I am giving you is abacus. Choose the correct meaning, that is the title of the exercise. Your first word is abacus. You are given 5 choices: casserole, blackboard, slide rule, longer spear and adding device. Second word, acquiescence. Choices are advice, advocacy, compliance, friendliness, opposition. Keep marking the words, the meanings of the words as you know, and even if you are not too sure, then do not hesitate to look up the dictionary. This is a practice exam, we are not actually testing you for anything, you are not going to get graded for this exercise. So, make mistakes if you have to, but learn for life. So, keep looking up the meanings of each and every word that I am showing you here and mark the word which is closest to the meaning to the keyword. Third word, adroit, meaning hostile, serene, pompous, skillful, allergic. Ambulatory, what does it mean? Does it mean able to walk, confined to be, injured, quarantined or suffering from disease? Ameliorate, favor, to improve, interfere, learn, straddle. Antithesis, contrast, conclusion, resemblance, examination, dislike. Look at the word again, antithesis. Here you have prefix anti. Look at the possible meanings here and see if what could be the closest in meaning. It has a negative connotation. Always look at these kinds of things. If you are not too sure of the exact meaning, see what your look at the word, look at the break down the word in possible sections, suffixes and prefixes and see whether it has a negative or a positive connotation. It may help you even if you do not know the exact meaning. Astute, meaning is shrewd, futile, potent, provocative, ruthless. Attrition, annihilation, encirclement, counter-attack, appeasement, wearing down. Augment, curtail, change, restore, conceal, increase. Banal, commonplace, flippant, pathetic, new, unexpected. Coalesce, associate, combine, contact, conspire, cover. Remember, today I am giving you the meanings. In the second section we are going to discuss each and every word. So, please be prepared with the meanings of every word that you are seeing here on the slides. Corpulent, dead, fat, full, organize, similar. Decant, bisect, speak widely, bequeath, pour off, abuse verbally. Deplore, condone, forget, forgive, deny, regret. Dissonance, disapproval, disaster, discord, disparity, dissimilarity. Emolument, capital, compensation, liabilities, loss, output. Which one is the exact meaning? Enigma, ambition, foreigner, instrument, officer, riddle. Ethnology, causation, moral, social psychology, study of races, word analysis. Expunge, clarify, copy, delete, investigate, underline. Flotsam, dark sand, fleet, life preserver, shoreline, wreckage. Fulminating, throbbing, pointed, wave-like, thundering, bubbling. Glib, cheerful, delightful, dull, fluent, gloomy. Next, incipient, beginning, dangerous, hasty, secret, widespread. Indubitable, doubtful, fraudulent, honorable, safe, undeniable. Inexorable, unfavorable, permanent, crude, relentless, incomplete. Inveterate, evil, habitual, inconsiderate, reformed, unintentional. Lesion, injury, contortion, suffering, convulsion, aggravation. Litigation, publication, argument, endeavor, lawsuit, ceremony. Malediction, curse, mispronunciation, grammatical error, tactless remark, epitaph. Nefarious, clever, necessary, negligent, short-sighted, wicked. Obsequious, courteous, fawning, respectful, overbearing, inexperienced. Petulant, lazy, loving, patient, peevish, wary. Phlegmatic, tolerant, careless, sensitive, stolid, sick. Proclivity, backwardness, edict, rainfall, slope, tendency. Pulchritude, beauty, character, generosity, intelligence, wickedness. Pusillanimous, cowardly, extraordinary, ailing, evil intentioned, excitable. Redundant, necessary, plentiful, sufficient, diminishing, superfluous. Abrogation, repeal, short extension, investigation, promulgation, 4 choices here. Abstemious, for example, with the cup filled with champagne, Bucky Harris posted for years. So, you look at the sentence and what are the meanings possible: hesitant, temperate, superstitious, careful. Next word, apathy. People have shown remarkable apathy regarding the professional politicians. There are several reasons for this lack of interest. Apathy means indifference, suffering, patience, curiosity. Aficionado, meaning an old timer, a second guesser, a Mexican, an ardent follower of a sport. Ecumenical, spiritual, worldwide, unselfish, whole minded. Now, there is a word like clandestine. He said the organization published a clandestine newspaper. The meaning, daily, handwritten, secret, or published at nights. Mendicancy, look at the word, possible meanings: bartering, the habit of begging, self-improvement, repairing destruction. Ephemeral, these are the words that appear very frequently in all these competitive kinds of exams. Flimsy, shoddy, short-lived, everlasting. Ambiguous, clear, doubtful, large, complicated. Amenable, religious, responsive, kind-hearted, cruel. Amity, linen, strife, friendship, enmity. Augury, foretelling, increase, boring tool or sickness. Austerity, style, poverty, calmness, severity. Castigation, projectile, driving force, punishment, insulting. Condone, surround, pardon, bring together, rule together. Contention, deep satisfaction, self restraint, competitive struggle, convincing reason. Next, decry, denounce, catch sight of, weep, spy on, defalcation, desertion, embezzlement, emigration, branching off, demur, to be coy, grumble, object to, remove, denizen, agent, police, underworld, inhabitant. Enclave, district enclosed within alien territory, fortified area, conquered territory, free city. Paradox, moral lesson, self contradictory but true statement, climax, convincing result. Pyromanic, escaped convict, mental defective, drug addict, persistent, incendiary. So, looking at the answers now. So, abacus was the first word I had given to you and your choices were casserole, blackboard, slide rule, adding device and also longer spear. So, what have you done? See, the correct answer is the fifth one, adding device. Casserole is something else, you know, it is like a pot. So, definitely abacus has got nothing to do with that. Blackboard you are aware of. Slide rule is given to confuse you because abacus has all those beads and all the abacus, you know, it is like a bead, it is like a board which has devices which has counting beads on it. So, it is like an adding device, that is the correct answer. Now, second word was acquiescence. Acquiescence is not advice, that is one of your, it is a compliance or accepting without any protest. So, that is the meaning of acquiescence. So, she acquiesced to somebody's demand. So, advocate is to promote, advice is not really acquiescence, acquiescence means to comply or to accept without questioning. Okay. And the other choices were friendliness and opposition, which are not really the exact meaning, they do not come close. The closest meaning is compliance. Next word was adroit. Now, adroit you were given choices like hostile, hostile is enmity. Serene was the next choice, which means calm and quiet. Pompous is arrogance, adroit means skillful. So, fourth word is the correct word, skillful. So, you do embroidery very adroitly, the women were doing or men were doing the embroidery very adroitly. So, fifth choice was allergic, which is not really what we are looking at. Next word was ambulatory. Now, ambulatory, look at ambulance, a word like ambulance, being able to move from one place to another. So, ambulatory means able to walk, okay? To be able to walk. So, that is the first answer. It is not confined anywhere or be injured. Quarantined could be, you know, because ambulance and quarantine, they do sound similar. Quarantine means to be kept in isolation, especially when you are affected by some kind of an infection. During the old Elizabethan period, people would put up a branch or a twig on their homes, on the outside of the homes if there was any kind of infection. So, it was like, please do not visit us and we will not visit you. So, self confinement. Yeah. So, that is quarantine. So, ambulatory is to be able to move, to walk. Ameliorate was the next word. Ameliorate means to improve. It does not mean giving a favor or interfere, but it to improve something. It has ameliorated much since I last saw. So, improvement. Antithesis is contrast. The next word, it does not mean conclusion. Conclusion could be it has got nothing to do with antithesis. Yeah, a thesis can have a conclusion, but a thesis, antithesis is not an opposite of thesis. It is a contrast to something. You provide an antithesis to something which is already established. Resemblance is opposite of antithesis. Examination, dislike, they are nowhere close to the exact meaning. Astute. Now, astute means exact meaning is shrewd. Futile means useless, potent means powerful, provocative is something that can lead to some kind of discussion or argument, ruthless is cruel. So, astute is shrewd. I admire your astute observation on my work, shrewd observation, clever observation. So, that is what we mean by astute. Attrition is another word. So, it means wear something down, not putting something on, but wear something down. It is the process of wearing down someone through constant pressure. So, political parties wear down the opposition by attrition, putting lot of pressure. Annihilation is the other choice, which means destroy. Encirclement is something that you are sort of putting a circle, you are surrounding something or someone. Counter attack is something else, but it comes very close to the exact meaning of attrition, but attrition means wearing down someone, putting so much of pressure. Appeasement is complete opposite of attrition. Next word was augment, and augment means to increase. You augment your argument through evidence. Other words choices were curtail. Curtail is to cut short, change, restore, conceal is to hide. So, augment is to increase. Next word is banal. Now, banal exact meaning is commonplace, hackneyed, boring. Those are the synonyms. Flippant, that is the next choice, is non-serious. So, it is not banal, although it looks quite close to banal, but banal is something which is very commonplace. Banal argument, banality of this writing, so commonplace that it has nothing distinguishing about it, distinctive about it. Pathetic, new, unexpected, these are not the exact accurate meanings. Coalesce, coalesce means to combine, come together to form a mass or a whole, unite. So, various, you have seen the movie The Terminator 2, so all those mercury particles, they coalesce, come together to form the other supervillain who is the antagonist there. So, they coalesce, they come together. Coalesce does not mean associate or contact or conspire, okay. It always means to combine, to unite, come and make a mass or a whole. Corpulent is fat. You say, Dr. Johnson was a corpulent man, fat man, okay. You have a word like corpus. Corpus is body, not corpse, but corpus. So, corpus, it comes from that. So, fat, it does not mean dead or similar. Next word was decant. Decant means to pour off, to decant some coffee in the mug. You pour some coffee in the mug, you pour milk in the glass. So, that is decant, act of decant. It does not mean to bequeath. Bequeath means you leave something to someone, okay. So, I bequeath all my books to my students. So, he will or she will inherit my books. Decant does not mean to speak wildly or abuse verbally. Deplore means to condemn someone. So, it is a deplorable act, and it is an act worthy of condemnation. Condone means to forgive, okay. And then deny is not the meaning at all, deplore is condemn. Dissonance was the next word. Dissonance means discordance, lack of harmony. It does not mean disapproval or disaster or disparity. Dissonance is always lack of harmony, especially in sound, and there was lot of dissonance among people, among the committee members, lack of harmony. Emolument means compensation or salary, although capital is quite similar to it, but compensation is the exact word. Liabilities, loss, output, no. Emolument always means to compensate someone for their efforts. Next word was enigma. Enigma means a riddle, mysterious. So, enigmatic smile of Mona Lisa. It is an enigma to me how you manage to function in these dissonant circumstances, okay, when there is so much of dissonance among your members. So, enigma does not mean ambition or foreigner or instrument, it means riddle, puzzle, mystery. Ethnology is study of races, it does not mean social psychology or morals or analysis, it means study of races. Etymology is word, study of races, origin of words. So, word and do not get confused between the two. Expunge means to delete, to obliterate, to remove. So, it was so offensive, the passage or the paragraph, that I had to expunge it from my essay. People found it offensive. It does not mean to clarify or to copy or to investigate, it means to delete, to obliterate, to remove. Flotsam is wreckage of a ship, Titanic and it is flotsam. It does not mean fleet or life preserver or shoreline. Flotsam, always remember, is a popular word, a favorite word with many competitive examiners, and they often give you this word. Flotsam of generally related with wreckage of ship technically, but you can also, they can also be, it can also be used in wreckage of something else. Flotsam in wreckage of life perhaps, if you stretch the word. So, remember, flotsam technically means wreckage. Fulminating is thundering, vehement protest. It does not mean throbbing. Throbbing means it is a sort of a pain, you have a throbbing pain in your head, throbbing headache. Pointed means astute, a shrewd observation. Wave like, no, fulminating is always thundering. So, the preacher was thundering, fulminating against the sinners. It is not bubbling. Bubbling is something chirpy, cheerful. So, her act was, Marilyn Monroe was always bubbling with enthusiasm on screen. Bubbling act, it has got nothing to do with thundering. Glib means fluent. Okay, we also say, he is a very glib talker, a smooth talker, he can charm, he can persuade people. That is the, so, it is not cheerful. Cheerful is bubbling. It is not delightful, it is not dull, it is not gloomy, it is fluent. Incipient is beginning, incipient stages. My essay is in its incipient stages, my book is in its incipient stages. So, beginning, starting, it is not dangerous, hasty or widespread. Indubitable means undeniable, unquestionable, and indubitable evidence has been found that this person is guilty. It is not fraudulent. Fraudulent is someone who is practicing, who is fraud activity. So, fraudulent. Honorable, no. Doubtful, but then you are talking about which is absolutely not doubtful. So, it's a total antithesis. Inexorable is relentless, impossible to stop. Okay, so, inexorable efforts that this person has put to get in the course, to top the JEE exam. So, relentless effort, something that was impossible to stop. Inexorable is not unfavorable or crude or incomplete, it is relentless. Inveterate is habitual, he is an inveterate shopper, habitual shopper. Inveterate gambler, habitual gambler. Inveterate is not evil or inconsiderate or reformed, it is habitual. Inveterate speaker or interrupter, he is always interrupting other people. Lesion is injury. Sometimes we get marks on our body because of injuries. So, we had lesions. So, that is, yeah, it is not contortion or convulsion. Convulsion is sudden and violent movements of body. It is not aggravation. Aggravation is to increase something, okay, or pain or injury. Lesion is plain injury. Litigation is a lawsuit. Okay, people in the West are litigation happy people. They file lawsuits very easily against anyone. They get offended easily and they file cases against people. Litigation has got nothing to do with publication or argument, though it looks quite similar to, but it's not. Exact meaning of litigation is lawsuit. Malediction, the next word, it means a curse. Okay. It is not mispronunciation, it is not grammatical error, though there is a word called malapropism, using the wrong word at the wrong time. But malediction is a curse, muttering a malediction. Epitaph is written in memory of a dead person. The great actor recently passed away, and the epitaph will be written for him, as he was one of the actors who put Indian cinema on the world map. So, that is you are saying you are praising the person's contribution and writing something in memory of a dead person, that is epitaph. Nefarious is wicked and evil, truly wicked and evil. Your nefarious activities, the thieves doing nefarious activities in the middle of the night, wicked, it is not clever or negligent or short sighted. Obsequious means fawning, obedient to a servile extent, so obedient that always agreeing to, acquiescing to whatever is given, or they go a step forward than even acquiescence. They are not just accepting without murmur or protest, but actually fawning. You say right or wrong things to do, because they want to please you so much. It has got nothing to do with courtesy or being respectful, or overbearing is exact opposite of fawning, and it has got nothing to do with being inexperienced. So, fawning is obedient to a servile degree. Petulant is peevish in a childish and bad tempered way, that is the next word. Petulant is not lazy or loving or patient or weary, peevish is the best word that explains petulant. It is childishly bad tempered. And phlegmatic is stolid, unemotional, the phlegmatic British character. They appear to many people as unemotional, very, very restrained, phlegmatic. They do not show excess of emotions. Phlegmatic is not tolerant or careless or sensitive or sick. Proclivity is a tendency. He has a proclivity towards lying, proclivity towards stealing, but it can also be proclivity towards hard work. It just means a tendency, negative or positive tendency. It is not backward or edict or slope. Pulchritude is an interesting word. It is again a favorite word of competitive exams. It means beauty. Outward pulchritude does not really give you a glimpse of inner beauty. So, surface pulchritude, pulchritude of your spirit is something that shines in your eyes, beauty. It does not mean character or intelligence or wickedness, it is pure beauty. Pusillanimous is cowardly, pusillanimous act. It is nothing to do with extraordinary evil or evil intention or excitable, it is plain cowardly. Redundant is something that is superfluous. You have already said that once, it is already there, it is, you no need to repeat it. It is superfluous to repeat it, so redundant. It is not necessary, it is not plentiful, it is not sufficient, it is superfluous. Redundant means superfluous. Now, I had also given you a word like abrogation, which means repeal. You repeal or abolish a law. So, you say abrogation of a law. You can approach the meaning of this word through the prefix ab. AB has the negative idea, that is away from, always remember that, and abrogation ROGA you will find in interrogative and many other words meaning asking or proposing. So, remember, to abrogate is to abolish, to do away with. Abrogation is therefore an annulment, cancellation, revocation, repeal, all these are synonyms. In the context, the word termination help reveal the, it can help you reveal the meaning. Abstemious is indulging, but in modest quantities, temperate quantities. So, you indulge, but modestly, not overindulge. Abstemious. It has got nothing to do with abstaining. Abstaining means to stay away completely, but it is not that. Apathy is indifference. Remember again the affix a. So, you know that abstemious means staying away from heavy eating or strong drinking, and apathy also. Yeah. So, remember that abstemious is oddity among words, being one of the 3 words in English with 5 vowels in their alphabetical orders. Other 2 words are arsenious and facetious. Apathy, again it has a prefix a from the Greek context, it means no. So, it is a negative word, and peth is the root of pathos, a strong feeling or suffering. So, apathy is no feeling one way or another, lack of interest. Yeah? So, remember it is a against feeling. Opposite of apathy is sympathy. Apathy is also quite like not quite like sorry, but it can be distinguished from antipathy. Antipathy means against, and opposite of antipathy is sympathy. Apathy is no feeling. Next word was aficionado. Now, aficionado exactly means a connoisseur, but you were not given the choice. Connoisseur means an expert in something. You were given 4 choices: an old timer, a second guesser, a Mexican, and an ardent follower of a sport, and the closest choice here is an ardent follower of a sport. Remember, aficionado to begin with started, it is a Spanish word, and it came into being in context with sports. It is a borrowing from the Spanish language. It tells us that the Spaniards have had their crazy fans, rabid fans, especially among the followers of bullfighting. This is related to sports. Aficionado means an amateur or lover of a sport. It is derived from the same Latin word which gives us affection. Next word was ecumenical. Exact meaning is spiritual. Root of this word is found in economy, which originally meant the management of the home or domestic economy, from the Greek word oikos, O-I-K-O-S, which is a dwelling or house. Ecumenical world is the inhabited world wherever people have homes. Ecumenical therefore means worldwide and liberal, as opposed to parochial in its sense of local and provincial, which is restricted to a parish. Next word was clandestine. Clandestine means secret. So, you were given choices: daily, handwritten, published at nights. The exact meaning is secret. The work was done clandestinely, secretly. So, it would be perfect if clandestine were related to the English word clam, as used in the expression as secretive as a clam. It comes from the Latin word, clandestine comes from the Latin word clam, meaning secretly. It is related to the Latin verb celare, okay, to hide, C-E-L-A-R-E, from where we get the word conceal. So, clandestine comes from the same root. It has the sinister meaning of keeping something secret illegally or by trickery. Ephemeral is short lived. So, it is not flimsy, it is not shoddy, it is not everlasting. Actually, everlasting is the opposite of ephemeral. Ephemeral is transitionary, short lived. Mendicancy is the habit of begging. Mendicant came to our home and my mother gave him something. So, mendicus is a Latin word meaning a poor man or a beggar. The word gave its name to the group of mendicant friars or religious brothers who took the vow of poverty, practiced collective ownership of property and lived by begging, alms and charity. Ambiguous is doubtful. I have very ambiguous feelings towards this issue. Okay, I am not clear whether I am pro or against. Amenable means kind hearted. Exact meaning is open to suggestion, pliant, docile. Amity is friendship. Okay. So, amity is not a strife, enmity is the opposite of amity. Amity means, exact meaning is friendship. Augury is to foretell, foretelling. It does not augur well with me, a sign that something may happen in the future. So, this is augury. Austerity is poverty. Here it is poverty. Otherwise, to live or lead an austere life is to lead a very simple life. Castigation is insulting or harsh remark. Okay. He was castigated. It is not punishment, castigated or rebuked. So, someone said a very harsh word to him. Condone is to forgive, pardon. So, the exact meaning is pardon. Contention is deep satisfaction, to be content with what you have. So, deep feeling of deep satisfaction. Decry is to denounce something publicly. So, denounce publicly, to condemn publicly. So, that is decry. And defalcation is embezzlement of funds. It is not emigration or desertion. Defalcation is embezzlement. Demure is to be coy. The lady demurred. Generally it is used in context of ladies or women or female, but it can also be someone hesitated. So, demurred on his decision, but generally it means coy, to be coy. Denizen is inhabitant, denizens of this building. You say citizens of this nation, denizens of this campus, people who are inhabiting this place. Enclave. Enclave, the exact meaning is district enclosed within alien territory. It does not mean necessarily fortified area. You should know the word clavis, which is a Latin word for key, K-E-Y, and enclave is a territory locked within a foreign country or territory. A conclave is a meeting held in a closed room. So, enclave and conclave. For conclave or clavier, the predecessor of the piano is a keyboard instrument. The clavicle is the scientific name for the collarbone, perhaps because it resembles a little key, a skeleton key. Okay. Autoclave is a Greek and Latin mixture, it comes to us through French. The word autoclave was coined from auto and clavus. Now, clavis is key and held, therefore, this means self fastening or self locking. Next word was paradox. Paradox is self contradictory, but still true. Okay. So, it is not a moral lesson which is a parable, it is not a climax, it is not convincing result, but contradictory, but still true. Remember, para means beside, beyond or contrary to, and doxa is a word that comes from Greek, that is the Greek word doxa. So, a paradox is a statement. The Greek word doxa means opinion. So, paradox is a statement or belief contrary to the accepted belief, or an idea contrary to common sense, which nevertheless has truth in it. As used so frequently in our everyday language, paradox means a contradiction. So, dogma from the same root means accepted or authoritative belief. A dogmatic person is self-opinionated, one who asserts opinions as facts. Heterodoxy, hetero means other, different, it means a set of beliefs and opinions contrary to established beliefs. It is a departure from orthodoxy, that is right opinions or beliefs held to be true. Next word was pyromanic. Pyromanic is an incendiary. So, the fourth choice, persistent incendiary. Do not get confused with other choices. It means a person who likes to deliberately start fire, an arsonist, A-R-S-O-N-I-S-T. So, that is another word you should know. Pyromanic is an arsonist. A pyromanic is mad about fires. He has an irresistible or she has an irresistible impulse to set something on fire. Pyr, pyre is a Greek word for fire. and it is found in this word as it is in pyre, P-Y-R-E. Okay, we also say funeral pile on which the ancients or even Indians, they cremate their dead. When there is pyre, pyre, pyro, that means it is a word that is related to fire. Remember, pyrotechnics are fireworks, and anti-pyretic works is against the fire or fever. In ancient time, the highest sphere or heaven was described as a region of fire or light. Hence, we have the word empyrean, meaning in the region of fire. Now, it is a poetic word, meaning simply the high heaven or the blue, wild blue away skies. So, thank you very much, and we will continue more vocabulary discussion in our next class.